Imagination is a defining human capacity. From childhood daydreams to the inner rehearsals of professionals, our minds routinely create scenarios that are not happening in the external world. For many people, these imagined scenes are harmless or even beneficial, fuel for creativity, planning, and problem-solving. For others, imagining and repeatedly building elaborate, fake scenarios, sometimes called maladaptive daydreaming, fantasy-prone thinking, or vivid internal simulations, becomes a central way of coping, relating, and making meaning. This essay explores the psychology behind that tendency. What drives people to create fictional inner worlds, how those worlds function, the advantages and risks they carry, and how to manage or harness this tendency constructively. Why do people construct fake scenarios mentally? The answer lies in several interacting human needs. First, imagination serves emotional regulation. When real-life conditions are painful, boring, or unpredictable, imagined scenarios offer immediate refuge. A person who feels lonely may invent social situations in which they are admired or accepted. Someone anxious about a future conversation may rehearse ideal responses until their fear diminishes. These mental rehearsals change emotional tone. They can lower anxiety, provide comfort, and generate anticipatory pleasure. In this sense, imagined scenarios act like internal tools for mood management. Second, imagined scenarios satisfy unmet social and identity needs. Humans are social animals with a persistent drive to belong and be understood. When relationships are strained or unattainable, the mind may create relationships that fulfill those desires: an attentive friend, an ideal partner, or a heroic self. These internal narratives help people explore identities, practice social roles, and feel competent. For adolescents and marginalized individuals, these fantasies may be especially appealing because they enable experimentation with alternative selves. Not all internal scenarios are the same. They vary along dimensions of purpose, control, content, and realism. Purpose ranges from rehearsal, practicing a speech, to entertainment, creating stories, to escape, avoiding distress. Control varies. Some people intentionally guide their imaginings, while others experience intrusive scenarios that feel automatic. Content may be day-to-day interactions, heroic fantasies, or catastrophic what-if sequences. Realism ranges from fleeting images to multi-sensory, extended narratives with persistent characters and settings. Understanding these dimensions clarifies whether the internal scenarios are adaptive or problematic. For many, frequent imagining is adaptive. Creative professionals, writers, designers, scientists use mental simulation to test ideas before acting. Athletes and performers rehearse success, which improves actual performance. Psychotherapeutic techniques, such as imagery rescripting and role-play harness simulation for healing and skill building. In each case, imagined scenarios are deliberate, time-limited, and integrated with real-world action. However, imagining can become maladaptive when it interferes with daily life or replaces necessary social contact and responsibilities. A person who spends many hours a day immersed in internal worlds may neglect work, relationships, or self-care. This withdrawal may deepen isolation and reinforce reliance on internal scenarios, a self-perpetuating loop. When imaginary scenarios serve primarily to avoid negative emotions or an unsatisfying life, they function as an escape mechanism rather than a tool. A related risk is emotional amplification and dysregulation. Because imagined events can feel intensely real, they can generate strong emotions: joy, shame, anger, or despair that persist after the fantasy ends. Rehearsing imagined social successes may elevate mood temporarily, but rehearsing imagined humiliations or betrayals can maintain anxiety and hypervigilance. Intrusive catastrophic scenarios, such as repeatedly imagining worst-case outcomes, can fuel chronic worry and panic. The content and repetition pattern determine whether imagination calms or escalates stress. Another psychological dynamic is the interplay between imagination and self-concept. People often use imagined narratives to construct coherent life stories, explaining choices, predicting outcomes, and rehearsing possible futures. These narratives can provide purpose and continuity. But when imagined scenarios portray an idealized self far removed from one's lived behavior, they can create a painful gap between who one is and who one longs to be. That gap can motivate positive change or produce persistent dissatisfaction and shame. Personality and developmental factors influence the tendency to create elaborate internal scenarios. High openness to experience correlates with vivid imagination and creative fantasy. Introversion and social anxiety can steer people inward, making internal scenarios safer than unpredictable social interactions. Early attachment experiences matter. Individuals who lacked attuned caregiving may be more likely to create compensatory relationships in their minds. Trauma also shapes imagination. Some survivors use immersive fantasies to exert control and safety in ways that reality cannot guarantee. Importantly, these patterns seldom reflect moral failing. Rather, they are understandable adaptations to personal history and temperament. Clinically, the phenomenon has gained attention under labels such as maladaptive daydreaming. Proposed diagnostic features include compulsive, immersive daydreams consuming many hours, distress or impairment, and vivid, repetitive storylines with recurrent characters. While research is growing, clinicians caution against overpathologizing vivid imagination. The crucial questions are whether the mental scenarios cause significant impairment, whether the person feels distressed by their lack of control, and whether the imagination displaces necessary life activities. Managing intense, problem-causing imagination requires a balanced approach. Validate the function of the fantasy while restoring agency and real-world engagement. Practical strategies include awareness and tracking. Keep a brief log of when and how long you enter imagined scenarios, plus triggers and emotional outcomes. Data reveal patterns and moments of vulnerability. Set boundaries. Schedule limited, intentional time for creative imagining. Treat it like a hobby, so it doesn't monopolize your day. Replace avoidance with problem solving. Identify real-life stressors the fantasies avoid. Take small, concrete steps to address them. Reach out to a friend. Set a micro goal at work. Grounding techniques. Use sensory grounding, touch, breath, posture to reorient when fantasies become intrusive or distressing. Imagery modification. Intentionally alter recurring scenarios. Shorten them. Change endings. Reduce emotional intensity so they lose automatic power. Therapies such as imagery rescripting teach these skills. Increase rewarding real-life experiences. Build activities that supply the emotional rewards you seek from fantasies. Creative outlets, social groups, volunteer work, or hobbies. Real-world rewards reduce the need for substitution with imaginary ones. Cognitive restructuring. Challenge beliefs that fuel escape. I can't cope unless I imagine X. And test alternative coping strategies in small steps. Seek professional help when needed. If fantasies cause severe impairment, a therapist, preferably one familiar with imagery-based problems, can help with structured interventions. There are also ways to harness vivid inner simulation productively. Writers and artists can channel immersive scenarios into creative work, turning private narratives into novels, scripts, or visual art. Entrepreneurs and planners benefit from mental rehearsal to foresee obstacles and refine strategies. Therapists and coaches can teach clients to use imagery for rehearsal and mastery rather than avoidance. The key is intentionality. When you direct your imagination toward a goal, it becomes a powerful instrument rather than a refuge that traps. Social and cultural attitudes matter. In cultures that value productivity and external achievements, inwardly rich people may feel ashamed of their fantasy life. Conversely, cultures that celebrate myth-making and storytelling can offer legitimate outlets and social recognition. Normalizing imagination as a human strength, while acknowledging when it becomes self-limiting, reduces stigma, and encourages help-seeking when needed. In summary, creating fake scenarios in the head is a spectrum phenomenon, spanning adaptive mental rehearsal and creativity to maladaptive, consuming fantasies. Its roots lie in emotional regulation, social needs, cognitive processes, personality, and developmental history. The difference between helpful and harmful imagination lies in control, intention, integration with real life, and the presence of distress or impairment. Practical steps: tracking, boundary setting, grounding, imagery work, and building real-world rewards help people regain agency over their inner worlds. With balanced awareness, vivid imagination can remain a source of creativity and resilience rather than a retreat from life. That's all for today. We release interesting psychology audiobooks every week. Don't forget to subscribe.